Today is May 26th, 2012, Saturday. I am presenting today an introductory video on the teachings of Jesus. Lao-Tsu taught non-doing. Siddhartha, the Buddha, taught the middle way, non-attachment. And Vyasa taught karma yoga, non-attachment. And Jesus is also teaching the same thing. He uses the words love, compassion, and forgiveness. Jesus also sends his message to his listeners in a different way, in a very unique way, by expressing to the listener that they are divine. He says, I am the way. But he's not saying that he alone is the way. He's using himself as a model for you to understand that you are also the way. He says as well, referring to an Old Testament figure, ye are gods. Ye are gods. That is to say that within this human flesh lies a divine being. Lies a divine being. And that is a beautiful, beautiful teaching. Did the others teach it? Of course they did. But they just simply did not use these words. They used other words. They said things like, Krishna, meditate and listen to the counsel of Krishna. That's what Arjuna was doing in the Gita. He was listening to the counsel of Krishna, and we have it in terms of an allegory. And so we assume we see a Krishna outside of him, but actually the Krishna is really within him. And the same thing with the Buddha and with Lao-Tsu. It's always about entering within, having that calm and peace within the self. And so Jesus is really saying the very same thing, but he's using a very interesting means of communicating this message. So, once again, he says, I am the way. I am both human and divine. Ye are gods. Therefore, he didn't say, I am a god. He said, ye are gods. And so there's the recognition of my humanity and my divinity. And in becoming aware of one's divinity, of one's own divinity, and then even better, becoming aware then of other people's divinity, will change the way that we behave, not only in our lives in general, but also toward each other. And then the third approach that Jesus takes in teaching is to say, take and eat. This is my body. His body gives life. I am the nourishment of experience. So we have in these teachings something that's very interesting. If we go back to the book of Genesis, to where we have the tree of life. They didn't take from the tree of life, they took from the tree of knowledge. And knowledge, without truly being awakened, just creates pride. And pride is what the problem was. And so, taking from the tree of knowledge, which is what most of us do, before taking from the tree of life, we are not able to stay in our Garden of Eden. And so Jesus now says, take and eat, this is my body. Live based on understanding what I'm about. Understand yourselves, you see. And so Jesus is taking from the tree of life. It's understanding that we are divine. We can solve our problems. We can save ourselves through understanding. We can save ourselves from what? We save ourselves from our own misery, because as the very common expression goes, We are our own worst enemy. And so when we understand that the truth lies within us and that no one can have any control over us at all unless we allow them. We have power. And Jesus calls us to understand that we have power, to know that we have power, to assume that power, you see. And as long as we're ignorant of it, we cannot assume it. And so, take and eat, for this is my body. And this is the food of experience that we take and eat through meditation. And so we can see that the other self-realized teachers that I've spoken of also speak of this. They simply use a different language, but every single one of them speaks of the importance of meditation in becoming illumined with regard to our own divine nature and with regard to the divinity that is all around us. So I will begin the readings. They are taken from the Gospels as well as from the Gnostic works in the Nag Hammadi library, and enjoy.